Okay, what's up guys? Justin Casey here from Elysium Risk Management. So today what I want to do is I want to have a brief overview of how to install and run a relatively new tool which is pretty good, a good OSINT tool or resource, let's say, something to add to our OSINT arsenal. Okay, and that is one called GHunt. Okay, so GHunt is done by a French guy. I'm going to say March, even though there's an X. It's the closest thing I can get to pronouncing that. So here's the repository, and the tool is GHunt, and you can find this on GitHub at the following link. Okay, so what is GHunt? Okay, so GHunt is an OSINT tool to extract information from any Google account using an email. So this means throughout our investigation, any of these Gmail email addresses we come across, we can take them, and instead of going individually into each Gmail service or into each Google service and cross-referencing them, what we can do is we can save some time. We can run it straight through GHunt, and that can give us a brief overview of multiple services. Okay. This is what it can currently extract. It's not always going to extract them. It's going to differ based on your target, etc, etc. Okay, so what it can extract at the minute maybe is owners' names, okay, the last time the profile was edited, the Google ID, if the account is using any Hangout bots, any activated Google services, possible YouTube channels, possible other usernames, maybe some public photos from Google Photos, possibly phone models, firmwares, any installed software, okay, Google Maps reviews, possible physical locations, and any events from, let's say, a Google Calendar. Okay, I like to use this tool primarily not always, let's say, as just in a direct information gathering tool, but rather as let's say a pivot point and use for, let's say, secondary verification or just as process of elimination. Okay, so first off, what we're going to do while we're here on this page is we are going to copy this. Okay, so that's what I want you to do. I want you to copy that link to that repository, and where I'm doing this is on my CSI Linux virtual machine. If you don't know of CSI Linux by now, all you have to do is simply head over to CSILinux.com, and there you can find all the information. You can download it, you can check out some tutorials, see some features, but I can do one even better because we are on it right now. So very quick overview. We have already pre-programmed, ready to go straight out of the box. We have our OSINT online investigation tools, we have some secure communication, we have encryption, we have dark web, we have incident response, computer forensics, mobile forensics, and some other CSI Linux tools. Okay, huge shout out to the team who have set this up, to the CSI Linux team. They've done an absolutely incredible job. They've been working really hard on this. I've been in touch with a lot of them straight from the get-go. Over a year now they've been setting this up, and it's absolutely fantastic. Okay, so make sure to head over to CSILinux.com and check it out. But regardless whether you are using CSI Linux, whether you're using ESA OSINT Lab, whether you are using the older Buscador, Trace Labs, Virtual Machine, any of these, Kali Linux, any Linux based operating system or virtual machine, it's going to be the same process for setting it up. Okay, I have already set it up on this, but we're still going to go through the steps one by one just to show you. So first thing, what we're going to do, I seem to be having this issue with my keyboard. I think it's because I have a lot of programs running between screen capture, audio, and then virtual machines, but hopefully it doesn't throw too many spanners in the works and the demo gods are good to me. Okay, so first off, what we're going to do is we want to git clone into this, and here is where the demo gods begin. Okay, so this is the issue I'm having here with my machine at the minute, but hopefully it works. Okay, so we're going to git clone, okay, and we're going to paste in that repository link that we copied earlier on. Okay, so simple git clone, and what that's going to do is, because I already have this, it already exists. Okay, but if you do this and put it in, and what it's going to do is going to clone that repository into a directory for you on your machine. Okay, so after this, once we have this, what we can do is ls, we can cd into GHunt. Okay, so we see it here, but make sure when I first started out using Linux and navigating my way through the directories, I kept forgetting about the likes of capital letters. So we have a capital G and a capital H on this. Okay, just a little heads up for some people that maybe are just starting out in Linux. Okay, we all start somewhere. Okay, next we are going to ls into it. And what we want to do is we want to get the requirements.txt. Okay, we want to download all the requirements for this. And how we're going to do that is we're going to use Python, and in my case it's Python 3. We're going to go pipe m or tac m. From there we're going to use the pip install. Then we're going to use tac r and our requirements. My spelling is atrocious, so I always need to double check. So that's Python 3, or maybe if you're using Python 2, I don't know. But Python 3 for me, tac m, pip install, tac r, requirements.txt. From there, you're going to hit enter. Okay, and as you can see, I already have it installed, requirements already satisfied. But if this is your first time doing it, give it a couple of minutes. Okay, it might take 2-3 minutes, but it's going to install all of the requirements needed in order to run this tool, this program. Okay, and next up from there, what we're going to do is you're going to go to a Google account. Okay, but remember guys, OPSEC. Okay, when we're doing any OSINT, any investigative work, we're not going to use our personal accounts. Okay, so do not go ahead and use your personal Gmail account. This is a sock puppet that I set up solely just for this video. As you'll see here, the email is GHuntTest2020. Okay, I set this up about 30 minutes ago. Really quick, easy to do, guys. Because not only from an OPSEC point of view of not, let's say, leaking any of traceback for the target, let's say, but as well because we're going to be using this tool to extract a lot of data from Google. We don't want Google looking at this as an anomaly and then banning your personal account, because what else are you going to go on YouTube and watch your cat videos with? Okay, if you don't have your personal account. So always make sure to use good OPSEC. And if you are new to it, maybe head over to our video section. Okay, so first subscribe to our channel, head to our videos, and you will see we've put up some videos in the past of OPSEC and digital privacy. Okay, so check them out. Might even try use the power of YouTube to try get a link to it up here somewhere. We will see in post. Okay, but once you are logged into your Google account, your Sock Puppet Google account, what you're going to do is go up here to this Google Apps, and then you're going to click account, and that's just going to load this page, the same one I had on. Okay, and then from there, what we're going to do is, because I'm in Firefox, I'm going to hold shift and I'm going to press F9. Okay, and once I do that, it's going to bring up our developer console. Okay, and from there we want to go to cookies and myaccount.google.com. and if we look, can we extend this? Yes, we're going to extend this up, and here we have all the different various cookies that are included with this account. Okay, and if we look at it, so our values over here. Okay, so we have our names here. Okay, so the names of the cookie and the values. Okay, and that's what we're going to focus on today. We're not going to worry too much about any of this domains, path expiry, anything like that. We're just going to focus on the names and the values, and we will see why now in 2 seconds. So if you head back over to your terminal window, from here, what we are going to do is we're going to open up the directory, and what we want to do is here checkandgen.py. So py, what does that mean, guys? That means it's Python. Good guess. Okay, so that means it's Python, which means we're going to use Python 3 in my case. And from there, then what we want to do is We want to copy this, and what it is check engine. So it's going to check the cookies, and it's going to generate some tokens for us. Okay, so we're simply going to Python 3, and I'm going to copy and paste that because that means I'm not going to spell it wrong, which is always good. And you're going to hit enter. Okay, and here it's saying it can't find the Chrome driver, so it's going to download it and install it for me, which is great. It saves me all the hassle. Okay, so next up, okay, what we're going to do is we see here that it's looking for the cookie, the browser cookie, secure 3P SID. Okay, so we need to get 4 of these, and this is the very first one, and it's actually very easy. What we're going to do is head back over here to our Google account where we have our developer window open, and we're going to scroll down in the names until we find what we are looking for, which is, if you can't see it, just extend it out, and there we can see. Okay, so it's secure 3P SID. We'll just go back and double check. So secure 3P SID, and then what we want to do is simply double click on the value and copy that value for that cookie. Okay, let's extend that again, and once we have that, we simply just paste that value in and hit enter. Next up, it wants API SID. Same thing again, nice and simple. We are looking for the API SID, which is here. We're going to double click on that value, copy the value, bring it back to our terminal. We're going to paste it in, hit enter. Next one up is SAPI SID. Same thing again for the third time. SAPI, same thing, double click on our value, copy that value, paste it in over here on our terminal window, and the last one is HSID. So we are going to find HSID, same thing, double click on our value, copy that, throw it in here in our terminal and hit enter. Okay, and what that's doing is now that's going to generate, so first things first, the cookie seem valid, which is a good thing, and what it's going to do is it's going to generate some tokens for the likes of our Google Docs, our Hangout tokens, etc. Okay, so that's done and dusted, and that's it. The setup is now complete. Very simple once we take it step by step. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to clear that window. That's ready to go now. And next, let's open up our directory. So the tool itself, to run the tool, what we're going to use is GHunt.py. Okay, so how we're going to do this, because it's py, what does that mean? Python. So we're going to use Python 3 GHunt.py, and next up, all we have to do now is just input our target Gmail account. Okay, the target address that we want to take a look at. For this one, like I said, I have set up an individual account for this. So we are going to check out GHunt Test 2020. Okay, so GHunt Test 2020 at gmail.com. Nice and simple. Okay, so again, it's Python 3. We need to make sure we're in the GHunt directory. We're going to go Python 3. We're going to put in our hunt.py, followed by our target email address, as long as it's a Gmail or Google related email address. Hit enter, and here we can see, okay, it's already up and running. So GHunt, that's nice the way they've done it with the same sort of Google theme, let's say. And it says one account found, which is good because I only set it up. And a name, so we have a name of the account holder, which is Johnny Doe, because John Doe is picked on everything. So I had to go with Johnny Doe, and we're here in Ireland, so Johnny is a bit more common name, let's say. And we can see here there's a custom profile picture, which is good. So let's X out of this. So yes, we can see this. This is the one I set up, but let's say you only had the Gmail account and nothing else, okay? So we'll close them tabs, and we can see here custom profile picture. So we'll open the link, and here we have a profile picture, this can be a good pivot point and a good use of secondary verification. And what I mean by that is, now let's say we could take that profile picture or the avatar, whichever it is, and we can then use our reverse image search techniques in order to see can we identify the same avatar or profile picture anywhere else. We can use lots of different services. We won't go through them all, that's a different video, but we can use make sure not to use the one. We can use Yandex, Bing, Google Images, etc, etc. Okay, but this one, guys, can you guess where this one is from? It's hard to tell, but this is from thispersondoesnotexist.com. Okay, so this is just a computer AI generated image. Okay, so this isn't actually a real person, which is always good, again, for your OPSEC. Okay, if you want to check that out in our other videos. But we could then use that as a pivot point as well. What I said for verification, let's say now we know a name. Okay, so now we know Johnny Doe, so we put that into our, let's say, our social media, our Sockman tools, and we get 30 Johnny Doe usernames, profiles. Well, now we have an image then to cross-reference and try, let's say, secondary verify that profile then, okay, to narrow it down for us. So like I said, a good pivot point and a good secondary verification, let's say, resource. Next up, okay, so the profile was last edited today, okay, the 13th of the 11th, 2020 at 2:15. That's great. That tells us it's an active profile. This is not a dead account from, let's say, 5 years ago. It means the target is still active. Okay, this profile is still active, which is really good because it means it's relevant. The data that we're collecting is relevant to our timeline, to our investigation, and can be very good to us. We can see the email. We can see the Google ID. That Google ID then, if you're, let's say, tech savvy, you could start trying to trace that back to, let's say, Google ad accounts, etc, etc. Then we can see here there's no Hangout bots set up. Okay, we have activated Google services, include Hangouts and Photos. Here we have Google Maps, and it also says one review found, which is very good for, let's say, narrowing down where we want to go. Why did we lose some cookies here? Anyways, so we'll open that up. So our Google Maps. So from our Google Maps, this can be, again, a good resource for, let's say, narrowing down our focus, okay, on the target. So here we can see that there was one review. Okay, so the target has made one Google review, and it made it here at Linkey, okay, in Cabra East. And so we can scroll down then and have a look at the review. It gives us the address of the place where the review was made, and it was only made an hour ago, which is nice and relevant, but because I've done it for this video. But anyways, food's always nice, and the benefits of living across the road from it helps too. So straight away, it's never going to, let's say, maybe, but the chances of it being that blunt and that in your face, if every investigation was like that, amazing, it would make our job so much easier. But in reality, that's not always going to be the case. This is just for the test. So it means, so here we can see living across the road from it helps too. Okay, and it was an hour ago. So as of 1 hour ago, the target is living across the road from that. So we can head on to our satellite view, and from our satellite view, then we can have a look in, and we can see there is a couple of houses directly across the road. It doesn't mean that we can pinpoint exactly what house, but let's say if we are working with a protective intelligence team, if we're working with, let's say, a surveillance unit, physical surveillance for private investigations, anything like that, well, now they have a narrowed down point. Maybe now that they have an image of the person and they have a general idea, so maybe they can set up a static OP and then try identify the person from any of these houses. Okay. As well, always have a look at contributions, because you might see some other things added, such as any places, any other ratings, any photos, videos that they've had, anything like that. Okay, so always have a little look around and check it out. So we can close that down, and we have an error here which hasn't happened before. Anyways, So what else that can come up usually, which should have come up for us but didn't on this case unfortunately, is YouTube accounts, possible YouTube accounts, and from there they can also be a good secondary verification and a good pivot point. As well, it can help to build, let's say, a social profile of the target's interests. Okay, to see what kind of videos they like, to go through their comments and start extracting comments. That can really help in building that broader profile and that understanding to the target. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to hit subscribe. Please drop a subscribe, drop a comment, leave a like, share the video, reach out to us. Okay, reach out. If you look down the description, I'll leave my LinkedIn account. Feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. Okay, feel free to drop us a message, leave a comment, anything like that. If there's something you would like to see, some video you'd like us to cover, anything like that, let us know. We'll try to do our best. Again, shout out to the guys over at CSI Linux for all their work. It's incredible. Keep it up. And yeah, guys, have a good day, and make sure to check out our other videos for online privacy and OPSEC. And as well, shameless plug, if you are interested in an OSINT course, we are delivering online OSINT courses via the European Security Academy. So you can head over to the euseca.com. I'll leave the websites down below, or you can contact via LinkedIn or email. I hope you got some value from this video. We are now touching 20 minutes, so I'm going to leave it at that. So thanks very much, guys, and until next time, see you soon.